Welcome to Istanbul, the city where East meets West, and where you'll find everything from ancient wonders to modern luxuries. Planning to spend 3 days in this magical city? Or maybe you're here on your honeymoon. Either way, you're in for an unforgettable ride filled with history, culture, and a touch of romance. Let's dive into the ultimate itinerary, spiced up with a little humor and a lot of charm. Day 1. Exploring the historic heart of Istanbul. First up, we're diving into history. Welcome to Sultanahmet, the historic heart of Istanbul. Your first stop, the majestic Hagia Sophia. This place has been a church, a mosque, and now it's a museum. Kind of like a celebrity going through phases, but way cooler. Marvel at the Byzantine mosaics and the stunning dome. Pro tip: if you're here on your honeymoon, this is where you drop a casual wow and steal a glance at your significant other as if you're comparing them to this architectural masterpiece. Smooth, right? Next up, the Blue Mosque, famous for its 6 minarets and blue-tiled interior. Warning: the interior might make you feel like redecorating your home, but unless you're taking the tiles with you, best leave the interior design ideas for later. Continue your royal day with a visit to Topkapi Palace, the former residence of the Ottoman sultans. If you're on your honeymoon, this is where you casually mention that you too would have had a palace if you were born a few centuries earlier. After all that walking, it's time to get lost in the Grand Bazaar, one of the world's oldest and largest markets. Word of advice: don't argue with the sellers over prices. It's all part of the fun. And who can really say no to a colorful Turkish carpet? But if you're honeymooning, consider buying a carpet to fly away on your future adventures together. Before we get to day 2, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit like. You don't want to miss our travel hacks and tips. Whether you're planning a trip with friends or starting your first adventure as a married couple, we've got you covered. Day 2 kicks off with a Bosphorus Cruise. It's a ferry ride between Europe and Asia, and trust me, you'll feel like you're starring in your own travel commercial. Honeymooners, this is your moment for a Titanic-esque pose. Just make sure there's a solid rail. Next, step into the lavish world of the Dolmabahce Palace. The Ottomans really knew how to live it up. The chandeliers here are probably bigger than your living room, so get ready to feel fancy. And for honeymooners, this palace is basically your starter pack for dreaming about your future mansion. And speaking of luxury, Istanbul is home to some of the most elegant hotels. After a day of exploring, imagine yourself indulging in a candlelit dinner at Sirigan Palace, Kempinski, or the Four Seasons, overlooking the Bosphorus. If you're honeymooning, these places are perfect for a romantic night, full of gourmet Turkish dishes, fine wines, and oh, did I mention those views? On your final day, let's hop on a ferry to Istanbul's Asian side. The view of Maiden's Tower from the ferry is pretty epic. Legend has it that this tiny island in the Bosphorus was built to protect a princess from a prophecy. But all we're thinking is what a great spot for a couple's selfie. In Kadikoy, you'll discover an entirely different side of Istanbul. Quirky shops, colorful street art, and lively markets. Pro tip: grab a simit and some Turkish tea and get ready to wander through this vibrant neighborhood. If you're with your partner, why not make a little game of finding the best Turkish street food? End your journey with a trip up to Camlica Hill, offering stunning views of the city and the Bosphorus. This is the perfect spot for a quiet moment, whether you're honeymooners or just soaking in the beauty of Istanbul. So there you have it. 3 unforgettable days in Istanbul, packed with history, romance, and just the right amount of adventure. Whether you're exploring the city's vibrant bazaars or dining by the Bosphorus, Istanbul is a place that will capture your heart. Honeymooners, this is just the beginning of your story. Make sure to subscribe for more adventures, and we'll see you in the next one.